Okay. What's going on, Mentees? I believe we are live.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, Maddie agrees we are live. How's everybody doing today?
Good. Is that to us or the chat? I'm good.
Oh.
That was to you.
Yeah. Good. Sorry.
So
I was seeing what you were doing.
What's up, Philip? What's going on, Jesse and Abraham? Joining myself, the Uncanny Omar, and Maddie today.
Maddie, you need a precursor.
I know. I just haven't. Nothing's like
marvelous
clicked. People say marvelous.
People say that all the time to her.
I don't know. I don't
like
her.
Mamorous?
There's gotta be something like I don't know.
Magmanuous? What is it?
You're an English major.
My friend Phil always calls me Wonder Maddie.
Wonder. Oh, that's cute.
Just because of the obvious reason. I wish I could show you guys, but you'll see my room tour, my Wonder Wall, which is just my wall. It's just a Wonder Woman.
Tim Klein said magnificent. Magnanimous. Thank you. That's the word.
That's
maybe I just don't like alliteration.
Magnanimous.
You know, I like it in other things, but I think it reminds me of too many like team building exercises. Okay, everyone, we need to do an icebreaker. Please describe yourself.
Yes, that's what I do on first day of school.
I was like,
use an adjective that starts with your name.
I had a job interview like that. Like they were like, describe. Remember, I told you that.
It was like, one word though.
They said describe yourself in one word. And the only thing I could think of is when I was trying to be funny in school, and I said orgasm Omar. And the whole time during the job interview, I'm like, don't say orgasm. Don't say orgasm. I can't remember what I said. I think like trustworthy, and you made fun of me for saying that. Like describe yourself in one word.
I thought you were gonna say funny.
Funny.
Hilarious.
That works. Anyway, joining Maddie and I is my wife, the Astonishing Melanie. And we're going to be talking about these books right here. Saga, volumes 1, 2, and 3. This is the hardcover editions that are also available in trade paperback and will be available in one big fat compendium.
Man, and honestly, I left my other one in the room, but these are already pretty thick and pretty heavy. Mm-hmm. And I don't think I'll be upgrading, just personally, because when you look on your shelf with I assume people at home are the same way, but when you have your image books lined up, these deluxe hardcover editions are so nice. I can't imagine going in a format that's larger. I don't think it's needed.
Yeah, I like the simplicity.
Yeah, it's very digestible. Also,
to divide us.
Can we just talk about how there's no dust jackets on these? And it's great. Team, no dust jacket.
What is wrong with you people? You all are monsters.
No, are you kidding me?
Nothing on the back.
Oh, it's great. I love image hardcovers because of this reason and many others, because they all line up well.
That's my favorite. I like that cover the best.
It's so cute.
I like how her boob looks like a planet.
It does.
Hey, what's going on, Ray, and everybody else in the chat? Sorry, Ray hasn't shown up in a while. Neither has Philip.
Ray.
So, in case you have never joined us for this segment, we are going to be talking about spoilers. And I don't want to ruin this for anybody in case you have not read Saga. This is the first 54 issues of Saga, and then they went on a break for about a year.
And Jess commented on that, and Philip Evans, that I didn't know it was on hiatus until last night when I got to the end. I'm like, what happened?
Oh, yeah, I was doing a live show.
I cheated and looked up. And I was like, what's on hiatus?
It was on Sunday when I was doing a live show. You came running down here. You got mad at me like I'm Brian fucking K. Vaughan. Like it's my fault.
How dare he take a break from making a saga?
So.
Which I don't mind, because honestly, like, reading this, it reminds me of reading a manga so much, just because you have the one artist and one writer throughout. And I'm very used to manga teams taking those breaks. So I was like, oh yeah, that's fine. And I'm sad, but it's like, I can deal with that. It's worth it for the great level of content they put out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
So once again, now's the time to leave if you have not read Saga, or if you don't care about spoilers, because this book will break your heart.
Mm-hmm.
So
actually, I only cried once. How many times did you cry, Maddie?
I didn't.
Okay, neither one of you have hearts, then.
Well, okay,
surprisingly,
tears did come out, but I just sat there and I was like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "I can't tell you haven't got there yet."
Okay, well, let's talk about it then. So the premise of Saga is pretty. It's not unique or anything, but I think it's done in a unique style. It's a story of Romeo and Juliet with Star Wars. I guess it's the best way I can describe it, but it's so much more than that. Would one of you lady like to give a quick synopsis of what?
One of you
ladies. English is my second language.
It's hard to do because it's so much. I mean, the quickest thing you could do is just
the basic plot of it, though, is.
I'll give it a shot. Let's see.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay.
I'm gonna clock you. Go.
The Mandrake, and his wife.
Mandrake. The hell?
Remember, I couldn't remember his name the other day. Okay, Marco and Elena. They're two warring sides.
Alana?
I said Elena in my head. What'd you say, Maddie?
I don't know.
Yeah, because you read it too quickly.
No, it's not
Elena and Marco.
Alana.
Oh, okay. It does sound better as Alana. Alana has wings. Marco has horns and magic. They have a baby during this war that's been going on for, like, I dare say centuries.
Sure.
War is outsourced to other planets. Yeah, they're on the run. They have a baby. There's what do you call it? Bounty hunter after him. He goes pew pew pew, and it just gets more and more complicated. Sir Robot, there's a Robot Kingdom. He's kind of one of my favorite characters. He got really annoying, and I liked him. And it's about her, Hazel, the baby growing up, and all of their. It's not just adventures. It is epic. It's such as a saga. And as Hazel, the narrator throughout, going back on her life and narrating, it says not everybody makes it out alive. So I guess that's a given, right?
Yeah, it is. I think what I would add, it's really cool that you get to find the story out through Hazel's eyes. Like it's practically her story. And from the beginning, she even says she doesn't grow up to be anybody special. She's just a normal being, but this is her story. So it's these two, like Melanie said, it's these two races that have been at war for a long time. So everybody's out to kill them.
Mm-hmm. Right, because that's the main plot of the thing. It's just like them being together is a front to what these two sides and what many sides think and have been dealing with for the past however long this war has been going on. And so they have no choice but to be constantly on the run, while also dealing with their own problems, right? Their own like PTSD because they're both used to be soldiers and what they've gone through and continue to go through, and their own kind of mental health issues, and just trying to figure out how to raise a child and stay alive and deal with in-laws. So you have a bunch of just regular life stuff that they deal with, just, piled on with, space, fantasy, action and drama and angst and a lot of death.
I really liked how lots of people that did come in their life, though, that wanted to kill them or hated them ended up, they form a larger family in the process. It really didn't take them that long to get along with the in-laws. I mean, well, it is a comic and you need to get going, but I like how it was almost a formula of they would come together, witty banter, I hate you, and then they end up helping each other.
Yeah.
I love that one of my favorite things about this book is the complexity of each character, that not everybody is black and white, right? There's no good guys or bad guys. A lot of ways, like Game of Thrones, right? Somebody that
Sir Robot.
Well, I was gonna say, like, some character
like
some character you hate at the beginning is somebody that you're like, oh shit, I didn't want him to die towards the end.
Oh
right?
Gosh.
And we'll get to that in a few minutes. Like I said, there's gonna be spoilers in case you haven't read Saga again. But that is one of my favorite things about this book. Now, he wrote this because he wanted to write a story about how him and his wife were expecting their first kid, and he's always had these characters in his mind, but he never knew how to use them. And he was like, oh, well, fuck it. I'm Brian K. Vaughan. I'll just mix them together. I'll put them together. I'll put the the experience of having a kid with my wife with this intergalactic war that's happening. So that's how this story came to be. And he was teamed up with whom I say is the perfect artist for this book, because Fiona Staples,
her art is beautiful. I love her facial expressions.
Does such an amazing job of world building. It's like, I think it's
on the first cover, Alana is so sexy. Look at her face.
It's done,
She's and it's a baby.
And it's done in a way that you can only do in this medium. I mean, yes, I can see this as an anime, or I can see it as a TV show, but it's just not the same. In a book, whatever, but I think Saga only works in the comic book medium, and it works so damn well because both the artist and the writer complement each other.
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And I think if you didn't have color on all these pages too, it would be very lacking. Because you said it could be an anime, it could be a manga, right? But like the way all these elements pool together is just so great. And it's so refreshing to have, like I said before, like a writer and artist continue to work together on a story. Mm-hmm. We're so used to other comics, and a lot of the issues that other comics deal with is that at some point you change a writer or you change an artist, and it's jarring and it takes you out of the story. And it changes the direction and the mood sometimes, right? And so it's so nice to just have a team tell their story and finish it with them. It's just so nice to me, and I know I can rely on them too, because I've loved everything so far. And even when terribly jarring and depressing things happen, I trust their vision going forward.
It is also one of the things that I haven't mentioned yet that I know we have to talk about. And it's going to be kind of hard because I thought about how the hell am I going to show this? Because, I have a very colorful vocabulary, but there are images in here that I think YouTube would be like, no. I mean, there's issue 12 was not released on Apple systems for a reason.
Oh, really?
And that's the one where
they have sex in like every volume, right?
No, I know, but it's it's straight chapter. Up a dude going down on another dude and like jerking off on the guy's face. It's on Robot,
yeah, but they do that almost in every chapter.
I don't know. That was the one issue. That was the one issue that Apple was like, nope.
Well, people don't equate gay sex the same way they do heterosexual sex too.
Well,
they're more explicit. I'm just saying that usually that's the reason with a lot of these.
Yeah.
But man, a lot of giant penises in this series. Just a lot of giant penises.
That's awesome.
I like how you were completely sideways with your eyeball. You were like, a lot of giant penises. Just
I've seen some things.
But it is, it is rated M for mature, and it totally is. I remember, I think our 10-year-old daughter was like, can I read that? And we were both like, no, not yet. It's not that like the story's amazing, but it's definitely not for everybody. It's not for everybody either. People that, could get offended with this kind of stuff.
Well, okay. Being an old reader, this is my third read through, except for the last few chapters. I didn't remember it having that much language and sex in it. And it didn't hit me until like, I don't know, I'd say midway through volume 1. I'm like, oh yeah, it is explicit. So what does that mean? If I didn't even it didn't register. Well, that made such a great story.
Here's what I think.
It starts off with, am I shitting or am I having a baby?
Well, so that's real, folks. Just saying.
Well, listen.
That's real.
I think, we have a lot of comic book series and other things too. I think TV shows, books, etc., that when they use profane language or graphic content, they do it to be edgy. They do it because they want to have that difference, right? But it's done so well in the story. It all makes sense. It all has a reason. It's there, has a purpose. It's not just like, oh man, we want to write this book and we want to seem really cool. So let's just throw in fuck a lot and some sex. So because we're so edgy, like looking at you, Titans on DC. It's just it all serves a purpose here. So it's
and
not
the author did say Oswald. He did say that was the opposite of war is fucking.
Yeah, which I loved. I think that's great.
Oh, that was a really good line.
So there is a lot of sex. There's a lot of language in here, and I absolutely love it. So how do we describe Saga? How do we talk about this book? So it's really cool because I think the hardcovers do a really good job of what
That's one.
the moments that
we're not in order.
The characters are experiencing, right? Because childhood does go this fast. Like, sadly, as parents, we know how fast kids grow. So 1 minute you're looking at your child like this, and the next minute they're talking and walking. So it's really cool how 18 issues here, Hazel's a baby the whole time. And within 18 issues, so much shit happens. You're introduced to Gwendolyn, Marco's ex-girlfriend. And then she teams up with the Will, which is one of my favorite characters towards the beginning, who's a bounty hunter who's after Marco and Alana. And then he's a complicated character too, because he kills kids. He's known for killing kids and women, but decides to save one of the kids that's a sex slave because he believes that's morally wrong. So like that. And he has that Lying Cat. And Lying Cat, I'm sure if you have not even read this, it's a huge meme online that everybody uses when somebody's fibbing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lying Cat and Gus are best. I love Gus. Gus is one of my favorites. Or Goose, however you say his name. I love Gus. I love what was her name? The Will's girlfriend.
Stalk.
Yeah.
Just her character design alone was amazing.
I really do like her character.
Like the character development for every character is so well done. Like when using the Will for an example, when you start out with him, he's a bad guy, but you like him and you're rooting for him. But that definitely doesn't continue. He doesn't follow the path you would normally see his role do, right? Because he starts out kind of brooding, but ultimately he ends up helping, right? That's how usually that story goes. And that's not how it goes in this. And by the end of it, you're like, what the hell happened here? But
character arcs are a lot different than the way you expect them to go. But that's Brian K. Vaughan. Like going into this series, I was like, well, I can't get attached to anybody because I know it's going to end up like breaking my heart. I was a big fan of Isabel when she joined. She was the little ghost girl.
Yeah.
That was her babysitter.
That was hard. That was really hard.
Yeah.
And when was that? It was the beginning of volume 3. If you've got the hardcovers,
it made me mad, not sad.
Yes,
I was just really? Did you have to get rid of her? No, you didn't.
Well, she did say she had many babysitters. So when it happened, I was like,
oh,
okay,
right. But it was so fast. Like I felt that way. I want to say like Starman made me feel like that. Or when Gwen Stacy, never mind. I can't talk about that. We haven't talked about that book. Not the real Gwen Stacy, but she just goes so fast that it's not fair. She doesn't get like a heroic death. All she was doing was
a little bit. I mean, she
wouldn't rat them out. Yeah, she didn't rat them out.
She cussed them out instead of ratting them out. The only problem I had with Isabel is that she knew everything on all these other planets. And I just wish there was an explanation as to why she was a know-it-all. Not a know-it-all as in cocky. Like, how does she know all this stuff about all these other cultures? She's never left her planet.
She's a ghost.
And if that's their society, is to keep track of other cultures, would she mention that? Or if it's because she's a ghost, like, explain why. Not some big
She's in tune with all the mini ghosts of all over the universe.
No, it was almost a little bit of a, hey, she's convenient. Let's have her explain what the heck's going on. These are bug bones. How do you know they're bug bones?
So the first 54 issues are the adventures of Alana and Marco raising their daughter, Hazel. And they meet, his mom and dad, who end up teaming up with them for a little bit. And then they lose his father. And the mother stays along until they get separated. And that happens a lot where the characters are together and then they get separated. Then Hazel and Marco's mom are sent off to a prison planet. And Marco's mom decides to stay on that prison planet because I guess she's had time to raise her daughter. By the time, that was one of the saddest thing was the narration of Hazel. She's like, I won't see my dad for many years after this. Like,
yeah.
Well, shit, that sucks.
Yeah.
But by the time they're reunited, his mom decides to stay on that planet, and they're joined by Patriarch patriarch.
Petrie.
Cannot remember her name. She's the she's trans, right?
Yeah, she's a trans woman.
Right.
And she was great. Oh my gosh. I loved her. Like the minute they added her in, I was like, I love this woman. I loved all of her dialogue. I love how she was characterized. I thought she was so cool. And the conversations
I thought it was the grandma at first for the first panel when she's in the shower. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, when did she get a penis?
No, I did too, because they have a very similar look.
Okay.
It's the horns. It's the horns.
It's the
We're
horns.
racist.
But the conversations that
Petrichor.
he and
Thank you.
Hazel have is done so well, because Hazel's going to have questions that like any kid would.
Oh, absolutely.
And, you know, they
Why do
just
you
have a
have a
nice,
Lily?
honest conversation about it. And I really, really like that. I think it's very well done. And I really appreciate them putting a trans character in there. Because so many writers wouldn't have even thought to. It'd have been a non-issue. They'd have been like, what does it matter? Right? But they did.
Yeah.
And it really fit in with Hazel being unsure of her body.
Yeah.
Having both races parts that, you know, I really liked how it didn't enter my head until she said, because I'm afraid my body, I'm going to die. I can't remember what she said. I'm like, oh.
That was really
She's
good.
starting to think about who she, or what her body represents, per se.
Yeah.
So, I mean, doing this, like a quick synopsis does not do this story justice. This story is quite amazing, and it's full, because what's really cool about this is just not those set of characters, because some issues, you know, and then you're introduced to like underwater. There's this like, it's like a gay couple. They're reporters and they're off in I cannot remember his partner's name.
I love them.
But they had like
no, they are annoying.
She did not like them.
Them.
Oh, I liked them a lot. I thought they were very sweet.
Dialogue. They got on my nerves.
I thought their
speech
bubbles were neat too.
What?
I like their speech bubbles.
Oh yeah, that was neat. But you go ahead. Why did you like them, Maddie?
No, I like their relationship, and I didn't think too much about them at the beginning. It wasn't until they were kind of stuck on that planet, and then everyone kind of got together, that I started to really think about them. Because before, like, okay, they're just looking at the story, whatever, that's cool. But then once they became part of the family and the community, I really got attached, which of course was the wrong time to do that.
Wrong thing to do.
But I like
the reporter. Was that Upshur or was that Doff?
Doff was the photographer.
Okay. Upshur, I didn't like him because he seems so egotistical. I'm like, okay, in real life, you are annoying. That you know what's right, and okay.
They were okay. I thought they were just a pretty cool way to do a plot device, because we knew they were going to come back from Hazel's narration, that she's like, and these guys are not important right now, but they will be later. How everything snowballs into something. It's really cool. Even the will, like when within the first volume, like there's a little just a little bit of narration where she was like, and all of this is going to affect us much later, and it did. Because the will, you know, after he went through his depression phase and he got all fat, and then decided to avenge his sister, because I really liked the brand. I thought she was a cool character with sweet dog. Sweet baby. Sweet baby. The dog's name was Sweet Baby. The dog that can throw darts.
I know.
There's so many amazing characters. Like, talking about them doesn't even do it justice. Even showing you pictures doesn't do it justice.
Yeah, the brand's death sucked. I mean, that was a bummer, because it just I felt like that one was quick. And I was like, oh well. Oh, there you go.
Tim Klein has a good comment about you can tell if they're physically speaking to each other or what, because of those word bubbles. Well, I did you know for a few pages I'm like, are they psychic? Because it looks like thought bubble.
If comic book
and then I'm like, oh, they're fish. They're talking in water.
Right. If comic book 101 taught me anything, it's that they're speaking in thought bubbles. That's how I read it.
Wait a second, but they do have the little arrows. I can't show you. It's not bubbles coming up to the bubble. It's little arrows.
Yeah.
You can see. So I guess they were on point. We just missed it.
Yeah, y'all were skipping dialogues with
skipping
the problem
dialogue, read too fast.
But there's just so much that happens. Yeah, like
What was his name? That's what I'm looking for.
So then you have Gwendolyn and Sophie, who
What a
go
great
on a
duo.
path to try to save the will, right? And they have to go get some dragon semen. And of course,
hilarious.
it's a grotesque scene of this dragon going down on himself with his giant dong. And, you know, you
I think it's cute. Can I show it?
fuck it, we're going to be demonetized
Oh,
anyway.
wait, no.
We're talking about Saga. It's all videos talking about Saga.
All right.
Like, okay, it's not for the faint of heart, right? But
I don't think it's that bad. I mean, it's gross, but it's kind of cute.
what the hell?
Weird.
You don't think it's that bad? You'd be okay with like? Never mind. I'm
Well,
not gonna finish that
no.
question. Not gonna finish that question. But after, I love the part where what was it? Gwendolyn or the brand? One of them said, "Yeah, you know, just like every other man, just wait till he finishes and he passes out, and then we'll take some of the semen."
It's
Man,
Gwendolyn.
what's up, Jim Mint? He liked you liked it. Good. They're gonna finish it. I mean, it's a love it's a love letter to everything that Brian K. Vaughan ever enjoyed. It's so cool. So everybody teams up. Like all the people that you expect were not gonna be together end up together towards the end. Like the Robot Prince 4, right? Not Ivy.
Yeah, 4.
His kid. Because like that's one thing about the writing that you come to expect from Brian K. Vaughan, because everything like this, like his stuff in Fables, like his stuff in Pride of Baghdad, or just about anything that he's written, when things are going too well, something bad's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens. A lot of bad shit happens. So what was the death that stuck with you all the most? Yeah, there were a couple times.
Curdy. The
that was
the cute little animal. They stayed on the Comet Fang, and then he's drowning in all the black goo. It really got to me because he was a kid, and I can't handle
this scene right
here.
Oh yeah, that was real sad.
Not only that, but they really added to the dramatic tension. Go ahead.
Anyway, so I really can't stand kid deaths. And you could just tell he was suffering, and then 8 pages of just actually that is the narration, blah 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 blah, deep stuff, and it says and then, and there are 8 pages of black.
Yeah,
and that's what I was flipping through, and almost like, why are you just flipping? I'm like, because and I had to stop.
8 pages of nothing but black darkness, and he's praying to God. He's like, I believe. Oh man, that was a rough death.
Yeah,
he wasn't my favorite character by any means. It's just that death was the hardest on me.
What about you, Maddie? What's the death that
you need a thought bubble? That's such a thought bubble face needs to be popping up.
I don't know.
Tacos for dinner.
I've got a couple.
The dad dying was really hard, but dad does always get me. It's pretty easy. I thought it was really sweet because he knew he was dying, but he was trying to work so hard to just kind of do what he could for them before he left. And it was very, very sweet. And that really got me. Mega spoilers. I wish that Marcos had got me more, but I think everyone before I got to.
I thought you were talking about Marco. You're talking about his dad.
You're talking about his father.
Well, I was talking about his dad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you're talking about Marco.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wish that Marco's death had hit me more, but the problem was everyone who was talking about Saga was like, "Oh my god, the way it ended, I'm so angry." Everyone. So I knew something was going to happen. So it kind of got ruined for me, even though I didn't know what was going to happen. It was like I was braced for whatever was going to happen. So by the time it did, I was just like, well, yeah. Like, you know, it wasn't like, of course, this is what's happening. So I was a little bummed out about that.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Oh, and the writer. Oh,
Heist.
Yeah, I liked him a lot. So I was really sad when he died.
Yeah. Oh man,
because he was a funny character.
I knew Robot was gonna die.
Oh man,
but I don't know. It didn't make me sad. It just bothered me because I just want to read more stories with him in it.
the one that got me was their kid, the son,
her brother.
where they go to a planet because the mom needs to get an abortion because the baby is dead inside of her. Right, Alana is carrying this dead child, but she's also gained his powers, so he's able to do an astral projection of himself.
Oh, that was hard.
What the child would have looked like? Well, they knew that getting this abortion would, make her lose the powers. So he's sitting there with his older sister, knowing that, he's going to disappear and she knows he's going to disappear. That was rough. That's the one death that stuck with me. Where she's like, goodbye, baby brother. Ooh, man. Marco's death didn't really bother me until it's this scene with him and Hazel.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it. You just gotta show that, don't you, Brian K. Vaughan?
So I want to add in a point as somebody who practices self-defense. I disagree with Marco's point of like absolutely no violence. That I completely see why, and it's very noble. But if somebody is attacking you out of love for yourself and others, you defend yourself.
Well, that's why he married Alana.
Eventually, too, right? Because eventually,
it was like
we're way against what he was saying. He believed it.
To defend yourself, and with the will, it's a life and death situation. He should have killed him, and because of the defense of otherwise, he is going to, he's already gotten up for so many things. Look, he's missing the hand, the finger. You guys have been fighting for so long, and he should have taken that Captain America shield like Iron Man and stabbed him on the neck.
Okay, self-defense, huh?
I love people.
That's murder.
Don't try. That is not murder. He was trying to kill them.
No,
it's not like he came up and was like, "I hate your face. I disagree with your. I think you're immoralist. You're." He was going to kill him.
I agree. All
right, you better.
I'm kind of with Jim Mint. He said he doesn't think he's dead, and I mean it's a cliffhanger. But I love what got me is the use of the narration from the very end of the first issue, where Hazel's talking about. It's not like I grew up to be some great war hero or any sort of importance or savior, but thanks to my parents, I get to grow old.
Not
everybody does, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was a very witty way of doing the cliffhanger. Damn it.
It was
so
good.
We got a few months left before it comes back. So that's pretty much what's happened in this story so far.
You know what? We didn't talk a lot about Alana. What are your thoughts about Alana, Maddie?
I love her. She's the best. I think she's great. I mean, she obviously had some downsides. The drug addiction wasn't a great look on her. But outside of that, man, I think she is just so cool. Like, I loved following her story. I loved following her character growth. I thought she was so interesting. I love this woman who's, so tough and reads trashy romance. Basically, I'm like, good. That's how those women
got all
are.
fangirly about it. She's like, "Oh, you got to read it. I'm so jealous."
They went to his planet
to educate their daughter.
She's like, "I want
so much for her.
Our daughters to see John Linnell
or Chris Claremont." What are you talking about, Chris Claremont?
You can educate them. All right, Maddie, who would you choose? Whose planet would you go to for a future child?
Oh God, but they all suck. Depends on what race I am, I guess.
Oh, I think she means who do you idolize?
Your life.
Oh.
Like who do you want to educate if you have a child in the future?
Lisa Ortiz, the voice actress of.
Oh gosh, I don't know. Gail. I love Gail Simone. I feel like I like most of
there you go.
All right, you go to Gail Simone. I go see Chris Claremont.
I see John Linnell.
Jesus Christ. All right, let's stay on track. Let's stay on track.
All right. I loved Elena as well.
Okay.
I loved her character design.
She's super cool.
I loved when I loved Marco, her relationship with Marco. I think they two really did make each other better. They brought out the best. They went apart. And my favorite part of that is when he pushed her off the building because he had faith that she could fly. And she did. And she was like, how did you know? And he said something about, like, of course, you're the strongest person in the universe. And I'm like, oh. But here's a gripe. One thing, she spent, what years, right? Probably more than one, trying to find Hazel at one point in the story. And when Marco brings him back with a crash helmet and what's her name?
Petra. Yeah.
You know, her. Elena and her start having witty hate banter against each other instead of Alana going and running for Hazel. And who cares who else is there? You've got your daughter. And I just felt it's a little bit out of character because Brian K. Vaughan was trying to, you know, be funny because whenever enemies show up, they're like, well, who are you? Blah, 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 blah. Which I like, but not then. She needed to go and hug Hazel.
That's fair.
Okay. Just saying.
As a mom, you don't remember when Lydia came back for camp, I pushed your brother out of the way. I was like, get out of the way.
You did. She was only gone a week. Mm-hmm. This is years. They spent a lot of time apart from each other.
Yeah.
For a family. And then there's this beautiful scene where she's sleeping between both her mom and dad. I thought that was really pretty, but that was the calm before the storm. You knew something was going to happen.
Oh yeah.
I didn't like. I'm sorry. What is her name again? Patriarch.
Okay, we're gonna have to look this up.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's on the chat.
Yeah, somebody put it on. I just don't know how to pronounce it. I didn't like her at first, but she really grew on me. Because I didn't trust her. I was like, man, she's gonna betray them. She's obviously been in prison for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Petrichor.
That's it. Petrichor.
I keep wanting to say petri dish. Petrichor.
But I didn't see her and the robot prince at all getting together.
Didn't until she was like, God, give me someone to fuck. Let me get laid. And I was like, well, the only one around is this dude. So.
Sex bot dude.
And, he's been lusting recently. So I was like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was an intense scene.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That dude has all the sex.
Ugh. He doesn't have all the sex. He just thinks about it visually.
Oddly, no one has thanked Matthew for pushing them out the window or a building. It's weird. It's got to be true love. That's how you find out. Dude, there's so many unique things about this. Like, the planet... Because right after you get done with that really hard chapter where... what is it called? The
Fang
gets destroyed. You're greeted by this weird owl creature that's like, welcome to Abortionville.
Like, I didn't like Cowboy Planet.
What are we doing with this? What is this about? And sure enough,
it was a weird jump.
Like,
because you knew the baby had died. Then
I mean, that made sense, but like, it felt very jarring. I was like, oh shit, where's the hell are we?
Mm-hmm. I guess when you're reading it single issues, it had been a month.
No, it'd been a few months because they had taken breaks. They had taken breaks because this. I want to say the series started like in 2012, 2011, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. I know the first hardcover came out in 2014. So it's been a few years since all this started. Before we give our final thoughts, is there any last things you all wanted to mention?
Not really. I mean, all except the art's amazing. The end. It's perfect. Character design's perfect.
Sequential
Staples is amazing.
Was talking about the 2-page spread.
Oh yeah,
with the time suck. That thing is creepy as shit. The baby that eats universes.
Yeah, and then it come back later. It was bigger. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I wish I could find it. We didn't talk about that in particular.
You need the first volume.
Oh, is it in the first volume? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, is there any last things that you all want to mention before we give our final score? To me, I think, Brian K. Vaughan is really, his dialogue carries a lot of the story sometimes to me. Mm-hmm. And I love that about him. Like, it's not a chore to read dialogue. I know you've had, Maddie's had.
Time suck.
Yeah, that fucking.
Born out of a planet egg.
That damn thing. So I know there are people that are dialogue heavy, and he tends to be from time to time, but his dialogue is so easy and so fluid and so real to read.
Yeah.
That it's not a chore. And one thing that I found amazing about him, writing this is that with everything else that he's done, with the exception of Pride of Baghdad, is he's used a lot of pop culture in his dialogue. And with this, it's almost impossible to do because, this is a different worlds and different planets. So
Isabel said the t-shirt she's wearing was from her concert singing blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And Petrichor was like, oh, you got to see them? So like made up pop culture.
But that's really cool. And then goes, once again, goes with the world building that they did. So
let's see. Read Multiversity next.
Oh, you're
Israel
reading the
says,
comments?
Yeah.
That's
Read Multiversity next. I've never heard of that.
We probably need to. That's a good series or a good solid book. All right, Maddie, you go first. What would you give this out of 10?
10 out of 10.
I thought it was out of 5. I'm not prepared.
Oh no, just multiply times 2. There you go. All right, what would you give this out of 10?
But it was 4.369.
Nobody is that ridiculous.
I bet you there is somebody. 9.
9 out of 10. For me, because of the world building and because of everything else that, man.
No, 10.
Oh my God. That's why it took her so long to date me.
Well, look, you were talking me into a 10. You talked me into dating you.
All right. I'm going to give this 10 out of 10.
Yay, we all
10 out
agree.
of 10. I mean, I don't have a bad thing to say about it. One thing that I've heard about this, that somebody in the chat or in one of the comments said that they didn't want to give this a try because Brian K. Vaughan pushes his political or his views on people. But my answer to that is, so does every goddamn writer out there in existence. Like, every writer does. It's just a matter of how it's done.
Like Oswald in the story.
It's in the story, right? How meta. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if you're going to be like that, then you don't want to read Chris Claremont's Uncanny X-Men, because guess what? It's anti-racism. Or there's a lot of, I mean, Chuck Dixon was like that. And, he has different political beliefs than I do, but it doesn't matter as long as you take yourself out of the story and it's just a story and enjoy it for what it is. I think anybody could enjoy this. So yeah, 10 out of 10. It's phenomenal. There's not a bad thing I can say about Saga other than, God damn it, it will break your heart.
Yeah.
But in a beautiful way.
And the things I said were so picky. Picky.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why.
And it's so rereadable too. I think that part of what needs to go into the rating is just how easy it is to reread this.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, you can reread it and find new things every time and still connect with these characters. It's just great.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. Is that the old reader, new reader portion? Why is this called old reader, new reader?
Why are you asking questions on the live show? Like, these are questions you should have.
Drew, you know that's not true. Drew B said Maddie gives everything 10 out of 10. Drew,
you go back and watch last episode. She pissed some old folks off with her rating of Secret Wars. What's up, Patacon?
I hated Adventures. I hated Secret Wars.
Okay, wait. You didn't hate the Dark Phoenix Saga.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, well, you could be wrong every once in a while, and I'm going to make you read it every 6 months, so until you love it.
Wow.
Until she gives I didn't even give it a 10 out of 10. I think I gave it again.
I call in 6 those days.
Starman twice. I stopped at the same point.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started.
Thank you,
Don't even get me started on Starman. This woman knows how to break my heart.
One day for your birthday next year.
You tried twice, too, and I'm like, give me my goddamn book back. Get your ass over there and read some manga.
I'm sure it is a great story. I don't know why. I tell you, Neil Gaiman's Good Omens. I've tried 3 times and I stop at the same point.
Well, that's Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman.
I know, for real, right?
You're so hard on yourself. All right, what would everybody else in the chat give Saga so far?
We got a lot in there. A lot of 10 out of 10.
Okay. I was busy listening to my
Sequential consequence of 10.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Shadow.
I would like to know what some people don't like about this series, though. Just out of curiosity, because like I said, vulgarity is not for everybody. Sex in comics isn't for everybody.
Well, there are some homosexuals in this, so I'm sure some people
Daniel
will
gets
turned
the
off
pen.
about it.
What? There are.
I know.
That's why I like the robots people. They just bang anybody. 4 out of 5, probably good. Did not read. I like that rating, Matthew.
Matthew.
Probably good.
That's a good rating. It's a solid read. I recommend it to everybody.
Tim Klein gave it a 9.5. I'll take it.
Yeah, Joe, 10 out of 10. Of course, I'm just curious who didn't like it, because
I'm super surprised this has not been picked up as a TV show yet.
Yeah, I see.
There's had to have been offers. There's had to have been.
Well,
They've won so many Eisners.
I think he was done with TV for a while after Lost.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck this. I'm
I
going
hope
back to
nobody
writing comics.
touches this until it's done.
Yeah.
I hope that once it's done, then be like, hey, we love this series. Can we do something with it?
It needs too high budget.
Yeah.
Consequence said.
Like an HBO show. It could be HBO. Honestly.
Like I said, I don't think there's another medium that could do it justice. I think it's perfect in the way that it is as a comic book. Some things don't work as movies or TV shows, and that's okay.
I agree, but I also think, like Maddie, they're going to turn it into a show one day.
Okay, I agree with myself, but I'm going to watch it if it ever comes
Drewby
out.
asked, how many total penises are there in this? A lot.
Somebody asking how many penises?
Yeah, Drewby asked
count.
how many total penises there are in the book.
Where's the question? Is this your question?
Oh, it was there. It went away. I saw it, Drewby. I saw it. Yeah, no, there it is. How many total penises are there in this?
That's what we should have rated it. How many penises do you rate this? Why are we calling it a penis? What grade are we in?
Well, there's nothing wrong with saying penis. Why are you making fun?
I'm not making fun of anybody that uses the word penis. All right, let's see. Lloyd Wong. I tried to. Here, let me put this up here. I tried to read the first 2 issues in singles and just couldn't get into it. I felt lost by the second issue. You know, my brother didn't like this. Manuel didn't like this either.
Dun dun dun. He doesn't read the yellow boxes.
No, he doesn't. That's his problem.
Well, you know what? Because I was reading so fast, I started skipping the narration too. It's beautiful, and I didn't want to think. I wanted to go. I wanted to know the story.
Second issue.
Oh, way more than 20. Probably like 20.
There's 20 in
I'll
one
say
panel,
50.
I think. I'm trying to think of what was the I was hooked from the very beginning, just from the ending, the last part of the dialogue, and of course the beautiful artwork kept pushing me to read it. It's a simple story, but there's a complexity to it.
Who are you talking to?
Lloyd.
Oh, Tim Klein said that he thinks Brian K. Vaughan said, show. He wanted to create something that couldn't be adapted to TV or film.
That's a snooty way of saying film. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, that's why he corrected himself?
He corrected himself.
Man, that's making Saga even more epic. You can't put this in the film.
Drew B. Penis like Batman. Yes, penis like Batman.
No, not because that penis was
would be an amazing
ever
T-shirt. By the way, penis like Batman? Question mark. Yes, penis like Batman is the correct answer.
Have a little bat mask. The cow.
He's talking about Batman Damned.
Listen, Saga's not afraid of showing penises, unlike Batman Damned or whatever it was.
Oh, I was gonna say, was there really a comic?
Yeah, we got to see Batman's penis, but not really.
What?
It was soft. That's what Maddie's talking about. It wasn't the full blown bat signal.
Well, it was like shaded.
What do you mean, not really?
I didn't ask to see it, but like they took a coward's route. That's what they did.
What? By being soft? What are you talking about?
No, God. Now, your questions make it sound like I want something worse. And
oh, yeah.
I'm just saying it was a shaded thing. It was like the shadow of a penis. And now we're talking about way too much.
What?
We're done.
The Batwing. The shadow of a penis sounds like a play I would go and see.
Shadow of a penis.
Yes.
What are we talking about next week?
It's like a feminist play. You are under the shadow of the penis, and you got this one. We go.
Stop giving yourself.
Okay, we gotta stop.
Okay, let's see. what are we talking about next
Deadpool.
week?
Ugh.
Well, I just finished The Boys, the TV show, so I'm down to read the book now.
You are down to read the book?
I still don't think I'm going to like it. I love the show, but I heard they changed some things in a good way. So I'd love to read it and compare.
I'm thinking. For some reason, I wanted to do something quick. What was the reasoning? Because I think
I have Gen Con this weekend, so I'll be. Anyone go to Gen Con in the chat? Do you all play board games?
I wanted to do something quick because I think the following week I wanted to do The Authority.
Okay.
Which the omnibus just dropped today, so we should be getting that sometime this week, and then we'll be reading it. And that show will be sponsored by Cheap Graphic Novels, where we'll be giving away a gift card to the viewers. So that'd be really cool. Can I win it? No.
My face is not on the near mint condition banner. I think I can win it.
You are related to me. I mean, people would stop watching this show.
That'd be messed up.
Harrow County. It's not over yet, Daniel. And neither's Black Hammer. I like to do things that are either taking a long hiatus, like Saga, or are done. But I love to read Harrow County. I really like that book. It's only got one more library edition, and then that is that. Oh, so here's something. Jordan said the reason he won't read Saga is because Brian K. Vaughan is way too obsessed with creating controversy to gain attention. I
don't see it.
I've only read Saga of his, I think, so I don't know how to comment on that. Based on Saga alone, I don't see anything in here that's controversial.
I know that people had an issue with this.
It's fine.
And, that
doesn't bother me.
Well, let me tell you a story.
Nope.
You ready for a story?
No, we're not. I don't want to talk about whatever nursing story. But I'm trying to remember what else he's done that could be considered controversial, whether in Why the Last Man or, Ex Machina or any of his other books. I'm a big fan of his stuff. I mean, even his Ultimate X-Men run, which only lasted 12 issues. I'm a big fan of Brian K. Vaughan. So I'm trying to think of, other than Saga.
But here's this.
Oh, cool. There's a reason why sex is not common in comics. It's because it's not necessary to a story. True.
I don't always agree with
that.
But I mean, you don't always have to show it, but I think there is something about it that's very human and real. And I think it's important to this story when you talk about, especially with his message about like the opposite of war is sex, right? Sex is a very real thing. And I don't think it's necessary to every story, but I don't think any of that in here was taking away from the story.
No, not at all.
I do agree. I do agree. There's some things there's some series or shows or media where it is absolutely not necessary, and it's done in a way just to be salacious.
Like
but has
scary movie. Let me tell you a story.
Don't.
Yes, I'll tell this one.
Okay, wait. Let me answer this question. You don't have to, but the Stormwatch series by Warren Ellis really helps.
Kaden recommended Titans by Judd Winnick. Good job. I
think he said Jeff Johns.
Well, he said Teen Titans by Jeff Johns.
Oh, you see Judd Winnick. I see Jeff Johns. Okay.
I'm focusing on what I want to focus on, which is Titans.
Exactly. Yeah.
We never read Titans or Outsiders or anything.
We will. You get one book a year, I told you.
That's not true. What if we read Tomie? Next week.
Saving that for
October. I'm dying to read it. It's getting popular with the youth.
Oh God, the youth is reading it. I don't want to read it, man.
Listen, people are into Junji Ito now.
What if I told my scary movie story? I don't want to tell it anymore.
Okay, baby, tell your scary movie story. That is so. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead. You gonna come back to the show, or are you mad? Are you mad at me?
I want to come back.
Look what you've done, Omar.
This is every day. I forgot to wash the dishes. I forgot to pick the kids up.
You guys, don't worry. It's not the time. It's comic books.
That's why I relate so much to Marco.
Sometimes I just want
to push my wife out the window and hope she flies.
Shadow asked if we're going to do Dark Knight Metal. I really want to read Dark Knight's Metal. I'm waiting. I know it's done now, but I'm still waiting for like an omnibus format.
Yeah, because Scott
someday with all
Snyder
of
told
that.
us there's one coming out 2 years ago, so you better
Yeah, and so
get up to that.
I've been dying to read it. There's so many different books and everything out. If they could at least come up with like a collected everything together, I'd be much more likely to go ahead and pick it up. We could read it and talk about it because I do want to.
And the formats that they're available in are a mess. You got trade paperbacks, oversized hardcovers, standard size hardcovers. What?
They don't match at all.
Yeah. So, but next week I thought we could do something.
Oh, Motor Girl. That's a good recommendation, Daniel. I actually haven't read it. I own it.
Oh, you haven't? That's a good book. It's a fast read.
Gail, that's good too. That'd be a good one to read.
Which one?
Secret Six by Gail.
That's a good one.
Where are you seeing?
But yeah, Motor Girl's nice and short.
Right here.
Oh,
And I own it.
it's all the way down to the bottom.
I haven't read Year of the Villain yet, but there's an omnibus coming out of that next year.
Nate B asked what bookshelves we use. Billy's from IKEA.
Mm-hmm. I use Billy's and I use the Kallax for my Omnis. To everybody, I only had time to read one issue of Saga, but the dialogue had a British feel to it. Did anyone else feel that? Only when Gus was talking. For some reason, I heard Rowan Atkinson speak. I don't know why. Did you get a British vibe? You got an American vibe from Saga?
No.
Kaden, so Doomsday Clock isn't done yet, right?
No.
We're still that book's okay. That event, quote unquote, started so long ago. And it's still not done.
The two hardcovers have been solicited already. Volume 2 comes out next year sometime. Melanie, what do you want to read? The Green Laser is asking. Yeah, what do you want to read, baby?
Oh, goodness. Well, now I want to read Why the Last Man. Because we cried together. We read the last issue together.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So romantic.
Oh, it was good. God, that was 2008.
But I suppose it would be a while, though. I mean, we just read Brian K. Vaughan. I mean,
Yeah,
how many
yeah.
issues is Why the Last Man?
60
Yeah,
issues. It's
so
getting an omnibus.
Not right now.
Like a 60-issue omnibus. That thing is going to be huge. Oh, okay. Sequential Consequence says he thinks the robots are supposed to sound British. I can see that.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. When he gets all proper and then, throws in a cuss word.
You know what I was thinking about, Maddie?
Yes, I'm his wife.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Why do I lean forward to the microphone? Hello.
This is my wife, the Astonishing Melanie, in case you missed it earlier. I was thinking because I just did an overview of my Wolverine book. I was thinking we should do the Wolverine miniseries. It's only 4 issues. It's Chris Claremont and Frank Miller.
Okay.
Oh, I like that.
And that leads into the From the Ashes storyline in X-Men, which we could read at a later time. But it kind of solidified the character in a solo story. It's really cool. I really liked it, but it takes place in Japan. That kind of seals the deal for you, Maddie.
Yeah.
Did I read it?
Yeah, I think you did.
Oh, okay. No wonder it sounds cool. I'm an old reader that can't remember, so it's like a new reader. I'm in between.
Looks like Jess.
I
Melanie.
do have a lot of patience.
She does. She has the patience of a saint.
Mm-hmm.
She's used to my drunken 5 more minutes.
Oh my
at a
gosh,
party.
no, I don't have patience with that. That's just dumb. Jerk.
Okay, thanks, the Green Laser. I really appreciate you making
It would be
comments like
an
that.
hour. An hour. I'm
Latino
so
people don't know how to
tired.
tell time. When we say 5 minutes, we'll be done in 5 minutes. It's your fault for letting me drink that much.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why I'm not allowed to drink tequila anymore. Maddie feels like the child in
Yes, I feel like the viewers feel right now.
You threw up in my
Very
car.
uncomfortable.
The death of Wolverine.
Matthew said, "Oh, I can't wait for Maddie to hate another one of Omar's childhood books."
Wolverine? Yeah, I know.
And Nate asked, "Have y'all done Fables?" We haven't. I read Fables, I don't know, in college. sometime. But I mean, it's been so long now. I'd love to reread it.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to right now, but yeah, Fables.
Fables
I'll
is
definitely
excellent.
reread at some point. So wonderful.
So, Paracon, we are finally in English getting a Lucky Luke collection next month in August. We'll have a hardcover collection of that. It's a French comic book.
Yes, I understand.
Oh,
from the question.
Oh, it is. He does say French. I thought he said European. Shit. Omar learned to read one day.
Omar talk pretty one day.
Or Asterix. No, I haven't. And I'd love to read Tintin or we do need to do a European book. I was thinking about the Incal, but somebody said that might be a little too.
Well, if we ever do Tintin, I have a really good friend. She runs like a nerd blog, and she's a huge Tintin fan, so we have to bring her on.
Okay, done.
Never.
No, oh God, I wish the answer was soon, but unfortunately, it's DC, so who knows? It might be never, like Maddie said, or guess what? They'll announce a fat trade paperback collection and then never release it or cancel it.
Yeah, because they just we're re-releasing Titans. It's in the same era as that, and there's no guarantee we're gonna get all the rest of those.
Well, and then Titans, the Titans got canceled.
Oh, well, of course it did.
Yeah. So Maddie and I are doing House of X and Powers of 10 tomorrow at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. I'm supposed to be getting some variant covers from Marvel that will be given away throughout the episode. And if they don't come in on time, then, everybody can enter through the comments.
What is that from? In the year 2525, if we're still alive. Is that might be Giants?
Okay, you're having a conversation with Green Laser.
What is that? I think it's They Might Be Giants.
Okay.
What is it?
Okay, he can't hear you.
Yes, he can.
Well, it's not real time. That's not the way the internet works, honey.
Well, how long is it going to take for him to answer?
What if he stepped away? What if he got hit by a truck trying to write that comment? And that's why there's a ...
Or it's the Electric Light Orchestra.
ELO for the people that don't know.
Or maybe he's just saying.
All right, so next Tuesday, the 6th, Wolverine? All right, everybody. Next Tuesday, August the 6th, we're going to be talking about
old song.
Wolverine. War of the Trenches is badass, or Goddamn This War. That's a good one, too. That's Tardy's. Ooh, I haven't read Black Batch yet.
Oh, Green Laser. Now I remember. Okay. Wait, Laser, not Laser.
Okay.
How do you say his name? Oh, okay. I remember listening to it in my mom's car. Yep.
All right. Mystery solved. I'm so glad that you learned something through this episode. Okay. Well, Maddie, why don't you do us the honors of signing us off? The Astonishing Melanie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us. Thank you, guys. This was fun.
Thank you.
Paracones from Argentina. Oh, Eternat. Yeah, we can do that one. That's a good read. That's not European. That's South American, man.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Please like the video. We appreciate it. Leave a comment below if you're watching this later. Just let us know your thoughts, whether you like Saga or not, what you're thinking. And we hope that if you don't already subscribe, you subscribe to our videos. And we also have a Patreon. Link be in the description. And remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint. See you next week.
Spoilers, Fear Agent. I love it. It's my favorite Rick Remender thing. I love Rick Remender's Fear Agent. It's like his